Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Top Stitches. If this is your first time coming across us, you're highly welcome. Please do consider subscribing, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Alright, today we're going to be learning how to cut and sew an underbust corset with basque waistline. This is it right here on our screen. If this is what you're looking to learn, please stick around. Alright, these are the materials I'll be needing. I have this black lace material and then my ankara. I'll be making use of a bone also. So let's keep that aside and start with our measurement. So I already have a starting line drawn out, and from that starting line I'll be imputing other vertical measurements. I have from my shoulder, from my starting line to 9 inches my chest line, 10 inches my bust line, 14 inches my underbust, and 19 inches is the full half length. So I'll impute this mark in two places to enable me get a straight line across. So go ahead and connect the lines. And after this, now the next thing I'll be imputing is my neck width and my neck depth. For this, for now, I'm using 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So what you can see me imputing now is half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches, and I'm going in to label all these lines so that we are not confused. So label yours, and then I'll go ahead and connect my shoulder line to form my armhole line. Next is to connect the neck width and the neck depth. So for my shoulder slope, I'm using 0.75 inches, which is what you can see me marking now. I'll go ahead and connect it to the neck width. So whatever is left of my armhole line, I'll get the midpoint and make a mark there. On that marking, come in by 0.5 inches and connect it like you can see me doing now. Connect to the shoulder slope. So the next thing now is to complete our armhole curve by taking it to the chest line with a curve. Just do that properly. That is what I'm trying to do now. So the next thing now is to get my nipple to nipple, half of my nipple to nipple measurement. For mine is 3.5 inches. That is what you can see me marking there now. So mark it all across from the bust line to the half length line and connect it like you can see me doing now. So after this, now I will get where I want my yoke to be. So I'm using 7 inches. That is what you can see me marking now. So get where you want your yoke to be and make a line there. So I'll connect my nipple to nipple measurement up to the 7 inches mark. So for my underbust tightening, I'll be using ½ inch on my center front, then on the sides I'm using 1.5 inches. That is what you can see me doing now. Then on the bust line, I'll come down by 0.5 inches and connect like you can see me doing. For this side, I usually use a straight line, and for the sides that I mark 1.5 inch, I use a curved line to connect it like so. So after this, now on my half length line, I will mark 0.5 inch and connect like you can see me doing now. So I will get what I have on that line from my bust line to the under bust and impute it on the curved line like you can see me doing now. Get what you have on the straight line and impute on the curved line, then just take it down, connect with a straight line to the hem. Just follow what I am doing. Then from the underbust to the hem, get what you have on the straight line also and go in to impute it on the third dart leg. So now that is where my new hem line will be for the center, for the side front. So let's continue. For my yoke, I'm going to be tightening that area also to avoid gaping. So for the part going towards the center front, I'll be marking 0.5 inch, and for the other part going towards the armhole area, I marked 1 inch. So just go ahead and connect it to the bust line like you can see me doing now. So do that. So after this now, I'll go ahead and blend it in so that it is not too sharp at that area. What I am doing now is imputing my circumference measurement divided by 4. I'm just moving my tape rule from one dart leg to the other, excluding my dart, and then imputing my circumference measurement divided by 4. So that's essentially what I am doing, moving my tape from one dart leg to the other, excluding my dart, and imputing my circumference measurement divided by 4. So go ahead and do yours. Take your time so that you don't make mistakes. So I'll go ahead and connect those lines like you can see. Connect the lines like so. Blend that part in. So the next thing now is to get my neckline. I want a sweetheart neckline. So from that my yoke line, I'll be coming down by 1.5 inch, and then I'll connect it to the nearest dart leg that I have. So this is me doing that now. And after this, I want to alter this neckline. So for now, I will just take in something like this, just what you can see me doing. I'm coming in with my pencil so that later if I am to alter it, I will do that. So for now, this is what I have. What you can see me doing now is shading my darts and marking on the lines I am supposed to be cutting on. So these lines you can see me marking on are the lines I'm going to be cutting. For the neckline, I'll leave it like so until I am sure that is what I'll be using. So pay attention so that you know the lines you will be cutting on. Alright, so this is it. For my bust dart, I'll be using just 1 inch. That is what you can see me marking now. I'll connect it to the bust point. So connect yours like so if you'll be using a bust dart, and go in and cut. So cut like you can see me doing now. So keep cutting, cut through the shoulder slope. And for the neck line, I'll go ahead and connect from my sweetheart neckline to my neck width, just like this. And this will be my neckline. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Alright, I'll cut through to other lines to get my yoke and exclude the under bust dart. Alright, so these are all the patterns. For my bust dart, I'll go ahead and open it up so that we'll be able to eliminate that. open it up and tape it down. Use a tape and tape it down. Close it up like you can see me doing and tape it down. So what you can see me trying to do now is drawing out a line on the actual underbust. You know, that point where we marked our 4-inch when we were drafting it earlier. So make a straight line there. That will become my new underbust line. So I'll slit it, I'll cut it out. So cut yours like you can see me doing now. And for the center front also, I will go ahead and extend that line and cut out also. So cut it out to separate the underbust from the bust area. So now this is me trying to assemble it. Let me just cut out so that I'll have only 4 pieces. But when I am cutting, I'm going to be cutting on fold so that I'll get for each side. So go ahead and separate it like this, and then label which part is going towards which part. So this is it, and I went ahead to tape the underbust part together, you know, so that we'll get our basque waistline. So for my center front, I have from my underbust to my corset length, which is 21 inches. This corset length is taken when you are in a sitting position from your underbust to your lap, so that the boning will not disturb you when you are sitting. So now what you can see me doing now is where I want it to end at the side, the back waistline. So I'm using 18 inches. You can use what suits you. So now I'll connect from my corset length to the 18 inches like this. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this right here will become my underbust corset. So now I am redrawing that line and extending it to the back waistline. I'll be slitting it open because when I'm cutting, I'm going to be adding my allowance on those parts. My joining allowance will be my boning channel. So now I'll go ahead and cut on my fabric. Alright, so this is it. So the allowance I added for the side front, I added 2 inches. That is the part you can see me touching now. So for the underbust, for the hem, I added 1/2 inch. Then for the part which I told you about my boning channel, I added 1 inch. So for the allowance, my 1 inch allowance, I cut it straight. It is not pointing. You see that part where my hand is touching, I cut straight. For the boning channel allowance, my 1 inch, I cut it straight. Then all other parts that will be joining together, I added 0.5 inch. For my yoke, I have all around 0.5 inch, but for the neckline, I added 0.25 inch because I'll be turning with a bias. So these are all it, and I went ahead to notch my bust points and all other lines. All my vertical measurements, I notched them. I'll go and cut my lining and put a hairstay on all the patterns. Alright, so this is it. This is what I have after cutting my lining and putting hairstay. For the lining, I tape my pattern paper back, so just so that I'll have my lining in one piece. I have my wording. I already cut it out, my padding, wording, whichever one you know it as. So I'll just go ahead and pin them down and run a stitch on it. I already have a detailed tutorial on how to cut and correctly pad a bustier. So I just ran through it now, and I'm pinning it, aligning the notched points So I'll go and sew with 0.5 inch because that is the allowance I added. So align the notch point and go and sew. For the underbust area, remember I have 1 inch as my allowance, so I'll just pin it like you can see now and take it to my machine and sew with 1 inch. Alright, so pin them and sew with 1 inch. I'll do same for the lining, join it with my 1/2 inch sewing allowance that I added at the sides. So pin them and align the notch points when you are sewing. And so I also have my back block. I'll join all of them and come back and show us. Alright, so this is it. This is the under bust corset and this is the bustier area. I have it notched already, so I'll go ahead and complete the notch on this side. So notch yours so that it is relaxed. So this is it. This is my lining. I already have it notched. So now I'll go and iron open this area, this 1 inch allowance I added for my boning channel, and then while at it I'll also iron my bustier area. This is it after ironing. So for this boning channel now, I have 1 inch, right? So I'll go in and fold 1/2 of an inch in like you can see me doing and sew on it. So go in and fold 1/2 of an inch and sew. Whatever is the width of the boning channel you are using, fold it in and sew. This is it. After doing that, I'm cutting off the excess on the fabric. So this is it. Trimming off the excess. So after this now, the next thing, I want to be covering that part with my black lace material. So this lace is actually very stretchy, so I will come in with my hemming gum, just randomly place, stretch the lace and iron. So I'll go and do that and come back and show us. Alright, so this is it after placing my hemming gum randomly and covering my Ankara with the lace. So for added effect, I'll go and stitch at the side so that it is actually firm before I trim off. So I'll go ahead and trim off now, and this is what I have for my under bust corset. So now the next thing is to join the under bust and the bust area. So I'm going ahead to get the midpoint and I'm placing a notch there. Also do that for the under bust corset area. Get the midpoint and notch it. Alright, so this is the notch area. I'll go ahead and align it like you can see me doing now, and I'll go and join it with 1/2 of an inch. So go and join with 1/2 of an inch. I'll come back and show us. Alright, so this is it after joining it. So for my yoke, it's time to work on it. Remember I told us we'll be piping the neck with a bias tape. So I'll go ahead and do that now. That's the reason why I added just 0.25 inch on that area for my allowance. So I'll go ahead and sew with 0.25 inch and turn it inwards. Alright, so this is it This is it after taking care of that, and now it is time to attach it. My center front, my neckline, the sweetheart neckline, will be my guide for joining this yoke. So this is me aligning it properly and pinning. Just do yours like you can see me doing now. Align it properly in your sweetheart neckline and pin, then go and sew it. So this is it. I'll go and sew now. So for the excess that I have there, I'll just trim it off. We'll go and sew and show us. This is it after joining it. So this is it on the wrong side. Now it's time to come in with my lining to cover it up. Place the lining the right side facing the right side and sew. So now I'll be sewing from my lining and I will top stitch with a hemming gun. So this is it after sewing and top stitching. So the next thing now is to insert my boning. So remember the boning channel we made. Now is the time to insert the boning before closing it up. So I decided against using the plastic boning. I found this Regeline boning. I think I'll be more comfortable in this. So I already have it cut out and I'm inserting it inside and leaving 0.5 inch for my joining, it to the skirt part. So this is it. I've gone ahead to insert all my boning and it's time to close up the sides. So turn it like you can see me doing now and close up the sides, and when I am done I will also close up the back waistline area. So this is it after I am done doing all of that and I ironed. So this is it now. So now I have my skirt part. This is a 6-piece skirt. So this is it. This is the front of my 6 pieces. So I'll go ahead and show you how to attach the back waistline to the skirt part. Now this is me getting the center front of my skirt. The center front of my skirt. I am going to make a line there, the center front. So I already have my back waistline. It's very obvious where the center is. So now I will go ahead and place the center on the line that I made on my skirt. So this is the side. I'll be leaving 1/2 inch at the side. So align it properly, leaving 1/2 inch. You know you'll be joining with 1/2 inch. So that is the essence of leaving 1/2 inch, and mark out like you can see me doing now. Mark what you have with a chalk. So align it properly and trace it out. So take your time. You can as well pin it so that it is not moving like mine, and trace out as gently as possible. So this is it. This is the traced out that I have. I'll go in and come up by 0.5 inch. You know, to join it I'll be needing some allowance. That is what you can see me marking now, 0.5 inches. So mark it, mark out the 0.5 inch, and I'll go ahead and cut it out. So cut out like you can see me doing now. And on the center, I'll just give it a notch on that 0.5 inch. So now I'll bring in my upper bodies and align it like you can see me doing and go and stitch. I just stitch one side, and the next thing now is to stitch the other side. Now it will be easier for you to do since you have that notch there. So joining it to the second side will be much easier. So now this is it after joining, and this is what I have. All right, if you have not subscribed at this point, please do that. These are the back bodies. I'll just go and finish it up. Please do subscribe, like and share my videos. Thank you.